So it's been a long time since I've actually just come on here and talked to me. Filled myself in. Where do I start? I don't remember where I left off. I should have made videos as I went, but I don't. I gotta just live life and think, oh, talk about that later. And then a lot of those moments pass. So, one moment I got my necklace fixed. My necklace, yes, I got my necklace fixed. I still need to get my nose re-pierced here and my tragus re-pierced. Rob said that he'll help me with that. Rob, he is the tattoo artist that goes around to people's places instead of having his own setup. He goes to different places, wherever people are at. Remote tattoo artist. He came over here yesterday. We've hung out twice. First time he was here, I was insistent on making banana bread that day, and before he showed up. So I had already mashed up my bananas and I put them in the fridge. Well, then I really didn't have baking powder, so then I had to figure that out. So anyway, it took me a long time to make my banana bread. So when I was done and I came back in here, and it was the first day he ever came and hung out with me, he was like, "Did you forget I was here?" I said, no, I didn't. And then he ate the pussy really good. He did. He knew how to suck on the clit just automatically. I was like, oh my god. And then we had sex, but it wasn't really it was sex, but it wasn't off the top, you know what I mean? It was, I don't know. Anyway, but I was knocked out. Like, I had drank and was drunk and was like, oh, all over the place. I was knocked out. I just remember him waking me up, saying that, ask if we can get under the cover, because I sleep on my new cover in there. It's a white and purple blanket, and I have to sleep on top of it because I sleep with my weighted blanket. So in my mind, I was like, there's enough. He's tiny, he's not a big person, so we both could fit under my weighted blanket. So in my mind, I was like, no, whatever, and I went back to sleep. Well, come to find out, he spent the rest of the night in here because I was sleeping apparently diagonal on the bed, and one dog was on one corner and one dog was on the other. So Kovu was with me, and Jock is another dog, his dog. Jock pisses on my plants all the time, and it pisses me off. So every time he comes in here and sniffs around, I'm like, he's not gonna pee, is he? And I think that kind of irritates Rob, to be honest with you. But Rob got me a new rug. I can see it. Ooh. Anyway, it's white with light gray X's. It's not new. It is new-ish. He got it off of Facebook Marketplace, and a girl was trying to sell it, but she was needing to move, and she finally just gave up. And he happened to snag it for free. And all he needed was this little corner where I'm at, where the chair is cut out, because he lives in a camper. So that's the only little piece he needed. So he gave it to me for free. Anyways, so yesterday he came over and we hung out. He's very gentle. That's what I think I like about him. He's very gentle. Like, if he kisses on me, and he's just very gentle. Haley, on the other side, is rough as a motherfucker, and he does not know how to kiss. Haley, when he kisses, he comes in at you like a baby would. Yeah. Every time he came in to try to kiss me, his teeth would puncture my lip. And then he always was talking about doing butt stuff, and one time he stuck his finger in my butt, and then he said, "Here, put this in your mouth, suck on it, enjoy the taste of your butt," or whatever, I don't know. But he made sure I knew that it came from my butt and that I wanted it in my mouth. I said, you know what? You need a freak. You need a freak. He was just my weed Santa Claus. His words. That's what he did. He sold weed. Legally, of course. I mean, I don't know. But it's legal here. But it was a company. And he, it's kind of a long story. But anyway, he stopped talking to me now. He came over. He put a lock on my garage door a while back, and then because he had asked if he could store some of his weed in my storage downstairs, because they were having to redo his sink in his bathroom, and so people were going to go in and out of his apartment, and he didn't want his stuff there. I'm like, yeah. So he had me put a little lock, because he thought that the slide on the garage door wasn't good enough. So he put a lock there. So I was in a rush, and I was missing my pool time, which is usually the case. And I was trying to get to the pool before I ran out of time, and I couldn't get the lock undone. I was so pissed. And I called him after, like in mid, I called him, and it finally went. I said, you know what, I've been trying to do this for five minutes. I said, we don't need to do this shit. It's too much. And I said, well, I'm in a hurry. I gotta go. And I hung up on him. He called back. I answered. And then talked a little bit. I said, well, I'm in a hurry. I'll talk to you later. And then, so I hung up. I said, I'll talk to you later. I was in a hurry. And so he tried to call 2 more times, and I didn't answer. And then he just showed up, and I was on a call with something to do with my pet boarding business. But I was on a Zoom call, so you could see me, and I was on the phone, because we were doing stuff on the computer. So when Haley came, I was outside, and I tapped on the chair, and I said, here, you sit down, you know. And he sat down for a little bit, then he got up, and then I heard him get his weed out of the storage and put it in his car, and then took off. Didn't say bye, didn't say nothing. I texted him, called him, no response. Doesn't even look at him. Rob, on the other hand, he, I can tell he has a lot of insecurities. I can tell. Just the way he carries himself. He's very soft, he's very gentle, but he's like kind of timid too. You know, most people would have made the dogs move instead of making yourself come out here and sit in the living room by yourself. You know, the first night, you know, I don't know. And just his demeanor is just, I don't know. And then when we were having sex, and then like I was on the bottom, so he had it was like missionary, but I was in like a cocoon because he had my legs wrapped up. Well, I like to use my vibrator, and I couldn't move my arm, so I just moved it, but it made everything collapse. Like, apparently I moved his arm that was stabilizing everything. And then he was like, you know, you act like he's not needed. That's the thing. He thinks that he feels that I don't need him. I told him, you know, I'd much rather be wanted rather than necessarily be needed. But that's just me. I'd rather be wanted. But there's like insecurities there. I don't know, like I woke up, it was like 6 a.m. and he wasn't in the bed anymore. I wake up and you're gone. That is it's a trigger to me. It is. I wake up and then my bed is empty. It's a trigger to me. So he did that twice. I woke up, it was like 6 a.m. and I came in here. I said, what are you doing? Whatever. But he was curled up in this chair. He said, oh, I didn't want to wake you or something. I don't know, he had some excuse. And I said, well, come back here. What are you doing? And then I woke up and it was later. It was like probably 9. But then he was in here again. He didn't even I don't know. So then that evening, he left and he went home. And then that evening I texted him and I asked him, how do I make you feel? And that's what he said. You make me feel like you don't need me. Like, all you need from me is an associate. And then, so he never responded. He never responded when, because I asked him, how do you feel? He said, associate. And then he said, obviously you've been, feeling some type of way for you to ask me this type of question. I said, no, I just was trying to gather what I've been doing that's making you feel some type of way. Because I can feel it. I can sense it. And he never said anything. And then Juwan J, the one from Nigeria, haven't heard from him really, talked to him. He's kind of become distant, which, you know. I did tell him I would like to watch him play soccer sometime. And he said that he would like me to have me play soccer. Him play soccer. Oh, my foot's going numb. Oh. But Jay told me that it's obvious that I don't need anybody. He said, you'd be happy by yourself. What you're in search of is a soulmate. Otherwise, you're content just being you and Kobo. Yeah, he's right. But I don't know I like Rob. I think I just like the idea that he can give me some tattoos, I think. But he still can. I'll still pay him. Still probably would pay him anyway. But his insecurities is just too. He has too many. He shies away. He has a lot of insecurities. Rob or Jay, he's good. It seems like, but he's like a goody two shoes, and I'm not. Zach, we went to Alf's, which is obsessed with monkeys, by the way. Crazy, obsessed with monkeys. And I told him I was driving the car and so on, and he was like, "You're a troublemaker. You're a troublemaker." He said it like 5 times. He said that I need to get a trip permit and to get insurance on it, but to talk to the insurance company and just tell them that it's just being parked on the street and I don't want to get hit, but only to put liability on it, and hopefully I don't have to pay the extra that I have to pay because of my flipping DUI, because I won't be driving it because it'll just be parked on the road. But I haven't done that. I just drive it to the pool. But the check engine light did come on. When I went and got my oil change, it was like $107, $107. Weather's acting up. The engine light was on, and I had him run it for me, and so I wrote it down. It was something about an air filter. Anyway, sorry, I screenshotted the conversation of me and Rob with him telling me that he feels that I don't need him. She said, "I'm sorry, babe." That's where my brain went. That's what it says. I'm sorry, babe. Anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about now. I joined a school community. Tony the Closer started a community on school app thing. So I got it for $20 a month. He's teaching real estate, digital marketing, and credit, basically. But so I purchased PropStream for $199 for 50 1,000 leads and skip traced for 1 month. So that's all I'm going to do it for 1 month. And then I have Lead Genie, which I did the $97 plan. But for some reason, it only took out $39. But they're just sitting there, Lisa. They're just sitting there. You pulled your leads, but now you're getting frustrated because you can't figure out Lead Genie. Come on, you got this. But right now, my brain is being pulled in so many different directions. I'm trying to get organized in it, and I'm kind of thinking I'm getting my flow. I established calendars. I went on ChatGPT, and it helped me establish posting calendars for my pet board business, so I know what days, what photo, video, whatever, what to put on it, what to say, what to caption, everything. Every day for 4 weeks is planned out, because that's what usually takes up a lot of my mornings. Is I want to post something, and then I figure it out, and then I ask ChatGPT, and then it takes a while. It does. And then damn, I brain farts for real. Anyways, I did my calendars. I did one for my reviews also, and I have scripts for it. And then I'm starting to do lives. That's another thing. That's what's taking up my time too. I formulated 2 really short 10 to 15 minute exercise routines. One for a morning, one for an evening. And I'm doing it on a live event. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to put them as replays. So I'm trying to get everything in order. You know what I mean? Like all my pet boarding reviews, because I'm also paying somebody $99 for reviews to help bump reviews and go through them and stuff. But I have to get people to review them. But I have to ask people, and you have to ask people in a certain way, because my business, not everybody has experienced. You know what I mean? You can't put a review on a business you've never experienced. So people are thinking, Lisa, you can't be fraudulent. Come on now. That's why I want to you can tell them, can you, if you know me personally, do you know my connection with animals, you know my character, do you know anything about me, anything positive about me that's related to taking care of animals or taking care of anybody, you know what I mean? Just put it on there. So that's how I have to word it, not rate my business 5 stars. That's how I kind of initially started out, which was very generic, and I kind of bombarded everybody. So I think I went a little overboard. I think I jumped the gun a little bit. But it was people in my phone, so obviously I knew them personally. But I think I got like 17 reviews so far. The only thing is, I'm paying for $349 a month for some company to bump my pet boarding business to a multiple of voice searches, like Siri and different things. But a lot of like 74 of them, 71 of them, I don't know. But I keep getting calls from people that sound like who I hooked up with, saying that my business isn't showing. So it really should be showing. I know it's in a process and it takes a while to build, but I don't know. I may not keep that part. I don't know. But $349 is ridiculous. Initially, it was a startup was $349, and then it was every month it's $349. So at the very beginning, they wanted it twice, $600 and something. So when they tried to run it, and I didn't have that much money in there, and I told them, why was it $600 or something? And they're like, oh, it's such and such and such. And I said, I don't have that much in there. I don't have that much. I said, I could just, he said that they don't do anything off of confusion. And obviously there was some confusion. So they just took off the $349 startup fee, I guess, or whatever. So I only paid $349 to begin with, instead of double it. Still a lot of money though. Still a lot of money. That's why I'm trying to get everything in order, because I'm paying money for reviews. I am paying money to advertise my pet boarding business. So I'm trying to do the reviews for mine too. I am trying to build wellness coach courses and write a book and stuff. You have to draw in a community in order to do that. People have to trust you. So you have to draw them in. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to draw them in with live exercises initially. And then lure them in that way. And then introduce the book and introduce the courses and introduce, different things like that. So that's where my mind is. So I have my wholesaling, which I'm paying a lot for, and advertisement for my pet business, which I've paid a lot for. And then I don't know. I'm trying. They say pick one thing. But when you have multiple things going on at one time, it's hard to pick one thing. It is. But I've learned if you just pick one thing for the day or something, it kind of helps. There is something on my neck, I swear. I just wish I knew how I came off to other people. I mean, I obviously, I see how I come off to other people. I just don't know why or how they're gathering that information. That's what I want to know. What am I doing that makes you assume that I don't need you? Or makes you so insecure that I don't know. That probably kind of bothers me, to be honest. I am still going to get my tattoos. I'm going to get a phoenix right on my pussy. I am. And I'm going to get one on my leg. And I would get one here, too. Behind the ear. I would get one there. It was cute. And I want 3 of them because I had 3 mental breakdowns. And the one on my pussy represents me reclaiming my stuff after males have taken advantage of the shit. It's not going to be virgin again anymore. It's not going to look virgin. No, you're not going to be able to see the skin. It's going to be a picture. I claimed it. It's going to be a phoenix. Well, it's September 25th, 2025. I have 1 more month for the state to help me. 1 more month. I've been getting unemployment. I went through what I spent the first month. Oh, it was ridiculous. I spent like $5,000. I think. Yeah. But I got a lot of stuff for the house. I got everything discounted. I don't need anything else. Like, I think it was a lot, but half of it was advertisement for my pet boarding business and and getting all that stuff to make videos, to learn how to do videos. I spent at least $1,000 on that. So I really hope I got some good stuff. I haven't been through that either. So that's another thing I have to study. I got in touch with Michelle Cunningham, and she is like a pro at making videos. Thing is, I was talking to a guy, and he said perfection kills productivity, and it does. So I can't wait, and then I can't wait to do my videos and all this stuff that I'm preparing before I study how to do the videos. You know what I mean? Like, my videos obviously are gonna get better because I can't just be perfectionist. I can't be a perfectionist, Lisa. Just dive in it and go. Just like calling leads, dive in it and go. Yes, I know. I just like to have things in order. Excuse, Lisa. It's excuse. I just like to have things in order. But like you put everything in Lead Genie, and then it will funnel them and animate them and all this stuff, and they send out different times and different emails and different text messages, and you have to figure all that stuff out, and it's very irritating because I don't understand it. Even though there's step-by-steps, whatever. I did figure out that there is a step-by-step that you can just read. Just read it. Because when they go through the tutorials, I can't follow them because I don't have the buttons that they have or something. Shit just doesn't add up. That's the thing. If it's simple, my screen looks like your screen, yes, I could follow it. But that hasn't been the case. That's the thing. It hasn't been the case. So, it's kind of where I'm at. I got a fireplace. It's beautiful. I leave it on all the time. I don't know if you can see. It has a built-in little heater in it. And actually heats. Yeah. But yeah, I never turn it off. I leave it on all the time. I love looking at it. It's kind of a replacement for my sand art that I was supposed to put on the wall. I would find that very soothing to watch. But I couldn't figure it out, so I mailed it back. But, yeah, just the flickering of the flames is very relaxing. Especially when it's dark. And it's good nightlight for it out here. I got it for $65. I went to a Restore. That's what it's called, Restore. It was like a thrift outlet, thrift, whatever. I don't know. Like a thrift store. But it was for furniture and different things. So I got that little chair. I got that marble top table. $40, marble top. It's really heavy. And I got this one. This stand over here next to me has a cubby. The whole inside is like a cabinet. That's why I got it. And I got some other little things, but yeah. I spent about $200 there. But then when Zach actually helped me bring it home, which is crazy because I've never been able to get... Our timing has never been good because he's always busy doing one thing or another. And then I've never asked him for a favor, put it that way. And if I usually asked him for a favor before or whatever, he'd say he'd be out of town and blah, blah, blah. But it just happened to be on the day that he said that he would like to take me out to eat. I just happened to go to the Restore and found these things. And I called him and he said, yeah, he would bring them back here. And his best friend actually owns Restore. And so his best friend said, if I knew that you knew Zach, I would have gave you all that for free. I said, well, I guess that's too late. Maybe next time. But the thing is, I don't need anything else now. In my head, I was like, ain't that a bitch? I met a guy named Will at the pool. I went to his house, met his wife, and his three horses and a pony, even though the pony is bigger than one of the horses, and a dog, and a cat. I think they had a cat. But they knew about Dr. Living Good, and I did a little exercise with them. And the exercises that they follow that they're actually really enthused about are horrible. Like there's 3 different people on the screen and one's doing some crazy shit and like, I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. You know what I mean? And they're just making up their own thing. It's just the fact that they're going with you and doing it with you. But they're not even doing what they were doing on the screen. So that just gave me the idea of I should just go live and people would follow me. But they were telling me that I needed to get a hold of them because I wasn't getting any emails or nothing. And they said, you better get your money back or get a whole nother year. So I messaged the group that I was in, and they said they emailed me. And I said I had asked them what the header of the email was because I didn't find it. But I didn't look back, so I don't know what they said. But that would be awesome if I actually got another year. Because when I started Dr. Living Good was at the beginning of all of this. So my brain was not in the let's learn phase. You know what I mean? Because my membership is up in October 6th, next week, next 2 weeks. And I haven't really dived into any of it. And I've had it for a year. So it'd be awesome if it actually renewed for free. I really hope they do. Because the people, Will and his wife Janice, were really like, yeah, they better reimburse you. Because I wasn't receiving any emails or nothing. Like I was part of the system, but I wasn't part of the system. You know what I mean? I don't know. That'd be a godsend if it was. Because the membership, the first member year is like 167 or something. But then when the next year comes around, it's like 200 and something. But I'm starting to change my eating. I don't drink milk anymore. Not conventional milk from the cow. After learning that since milk is in such high supply that they overwork their dairy cows so much that makes the dairy cows sick. So they have to pump the dairy cows full of antibiotics and different things. And anyway, so they're milking the cows. It says they have each gallon or something, I don't know, has about 75 billion pus cells in your milk. Pus. Pus is infection. Yes. That's where you get pus, you know, if something's pussy, it's infected. Yeah, in your milk. So I have actually discovered that I like oat milk that says extra creamy on it. Actually, it tastes really good. It reminds me of whole milk in a sense, because that's what I've always drank. I love milk. So I was devastated when I was told I was supposed to be able to drink milk. And the other day I started drinking cucumber, lemon, fruit infused water. Instead of I used to get Moe, I don't know, flavoring things that you can put in your water. I always got the sweet tea. But sweet tea has sugar. And you're not supposed to have sugar. Sugar's bad for you. That's another thing. I converted my sugar over to monk fruit. I stopped eating oatmeal and my poor boy toast. Not oatmeal. My cream of wheat, my poor boy toast. I haven't been eating that very much. I've been making smoothies. That's what I've been doing. And I've been putting 2 avocados in there. I still have my greens from Dr. Living Good. So I put 2 scoops of that in there because when I make my smoothies, it makes 2 big things. So I put 2 avocados in there. I put a whole bunch of fruit in there, frozen fruit. I put honey. You're always supposed to put localized honey because it helps with the pollen and stuff that the bees make. Will help with your allergies if it's around here, you know, wherever you live. It will help with your allergies. It will. I put chai seeds in there. I don't know what they do exactly, but I put those in there. And I put coconut almond milk in there. I got some ginger gel. It's ginger, but it's in like a tube. So I put like a tablespoon. I put a tablespoon of ginger in there. Kiwi fruit, avocado. I think that's it. I don't know. I just throw shit in there. But that's basically it. Yeah, so I've been drinking that for the past couple weeks. Smoothies in the morning. And then I eat chicken. I put the Chick-fil-A sauce on my chicken. Chick-fil-A sauce is almost gone, and I got the big bottle. But I got honey mustard from Chick-fil-A on also, so hopefully it's good too. I'm sure it is. But I like chicken, so I got a lot of chicken. I actually got a big thing of chicken the other day when I went to Fred Meyer's. It was originally $32. I got it for $11. When I took them out, one piece of chicken literally was like that big. Like it was all folded up in one little long thing, but when you took the chicken out, the chicken was folded onto itself. Like it unraveled. It was a lot of chicken. Wow. I went there because I actually got my muscle relaxers that I requested. Last week I went to the doctor because my left hip groin area wouldn't stop cramping. It wouldn't give. The cramp would not give. And when I walk, when I walk, the back of my legs, my hamstrings, and my gastrocnemiuses, my calves, cramp up like a motherfucker. Usually, it's your tibius anterior that cramps up. The front part, your shin, your tibia. But no, it's the back. So anyway, I went there and they told me no. Told her about the story. You know, I won't call it a story because it sounds like it's made up. But it's not. The acupuncture had done to my body. You know, I told her all of that. And her thing was that muscle relaxers are only supposed to be used short term because the body can become reliant on using them. Okay. So she told me no. She told me to go walk in the pool. Okay. So I walked in the pool for a week. She said do it four times a week. So I did it every day. But she said do it 4 times a week for 15 to up to 45 minutes. I would be in at least an hour. Not walking straight the whole time, but walking and moving and whatever in the water, and it just wasn't working. So by the end of that week, I called him and I said, hey, you know, it's not working. I did what you said, but, you know, can you help me out? Then I didn't hear from him, and then I called him again on Tuesday, and they're like, oh, yeah, I saw that you called such and such, and we should have got back in touch with you by now. And I'm thinking, yeah, you should have. But anyway, they had to make sure I knew that if they agreed to give me a muscle relaxer, but it was not going to be a continuous thing. So that's fine. So I got 10 muscle relaxers for 10 milligrams a piece. And I think I kind of can tell my hip doesn't feel so cramped in the groin area. But I really just need to start moving my body. You know, like I keep planning and I look forward to doing these lives, but like mentally, Lisa, you can just go do these exercises. You don't have to wait to do all this stuff. That's what is not registering in my head yet, obviously. Like, I don't know, I haven't really worked on my body. I really haven't. Like, I have home exercise programs and exercises that I've recorded and all this stuff. I really have not actually done it. And I know I'd feel a lot better if I did. So I'm just going to try to call, what time is it? It's 9:15. Because I've been trying to work on these calendars and exercise routines and stuff. And I do them through ChatGPT. But when I do that, then they mess up or they forget to include something. And then we have to start fresh and blah, blah, blah. So it takes a long time just because I'm debating with the fucking computer. You know what I mean? But they're the one that's making it all pretty and fancy words and blah, blah, blah. So it takes a long time. It does. It takes a lot of energy and time and effort and frustration. So I haven't been going to bed till like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning for the past couple of nights. So it's been throwing me all off. So right now it is 9:16. I am going to start to unwind, go to bed. And I need to time block. I do. I need a time block, a certain time to go work out, dedicated to working out, dedicated to the posts, dedicated to my leads, putting my leads into Lead Genie. Like, I can't forget the wholesale piece because I put a lot of money toward that too. So, Lord, I just ask you to give me discernment, guide me in my actions, make my time productive, Lord, because time just seems to be passing by, and I don't know where the time goes. And I don't do shit. That's the thing. I don't even work. So I don't know where it goes. So please, Lord, please help me use my time wisely, basically. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well, yeah. I guess I'll get at you another time. Bye.